Hello and welcome back. We are here playing Victoria 3 as Great Britain, as the namesake herself. We have Victoria 3 in government, Queen Victoria of Hanover. This is the current run, the current situation. What happened last episode is we managed to get the three best interest groups in power and plus 10 or more loyalty, while being powerful interest group, you can tell by the border. We're bolstering the Intelligentsialists, I almost said, which is not quite it, but this is, it's the trade Intelligentsialists, these three together, I suppose. And so they give really, really strong bonuses. We're getting plus 20% instead of plus 10 because they're powerful, which doubles the bonus. We're getting faster tech. In addition to we're already ahead of tech on everything, we're getting workforce ratio, we are getting manufacturing industries throughput. This one is super, super good. So is this one. The trade unionist one is just an absolute banger. So is the Intelligentsia's propagandists. And so we're in a pretty good spot. We have this war that we're winning here, that's kind of going to expand a little bit our market because the Ottomans are getting back some sand from the Egyptians, and it will, expand the territory of our market a little bit. Notably, their war goals are pretty funny here. They want to return Adana and Aleppo. This is Aleppo. This is Adana. So that will leave, however you pronounce this, Diyarbakir? Diyarbakir? It will leave that landlocked out of, but they're not taking it. So this is kind of funny. We do want Egypt to get clapped down a little bit so that they are not an unrecognized major power, which makes them easier for us to vassalize later on. So this is kind of a good thing for us, and we've also joined a play with the United States against Mexico, so we're kind of, putting our fingers in some other people's pies, but not to worry, we already have some infamy decaying. We can afford to be off gallivanting in other people's wars and not really worry about the fact that we're not losing our infamy decay. Our other plan for this episode is we are currently researching ahead of time, pretty far ahead of time, malaria prevention, and our intention is to try and cut off all of the Congo from anyone else. And so what we might do is we might even go as far as just canceling, once we get the tech, canceling all of our other colonies that we currently have going, and just making sure we completely block out the coast so that no one else can get in on it. And so this will allow us to be the only European power colonizing Congo, which seems pretty broken. And another reason for trying to get ahead on the tech is we are currently not spreading very many techs because we have all the techs that everyone else has because we're ahead of everyone else. And so by going malaria prevention and being inefficient in this manner, we give people time to get other techs, which allows us to spread the techs. Like, for example, someone researched rubber mastication, so now this is gnat spreading to us, and so we are still getting use out of our gnat spread potential, and instead we're moving ahead and getting a sort of advantage by getting ahead on tech instead of getting an advantage by, being efficient with our research, because in general you would want to research all the tier 3s before going to the tier 4s, but now if we go to the tier 4, we won't fall behind in tech because we will not spread everything else. Like philosophical pragmatism, we weren't gnat spreading before, now we are. We're getting gnat spread on modern nursing, and so I'm pretty happy with the way we've decided to run this. And hopefully it also gives us all the Congo, which is a pretty big deal. I think this might be the best ahead of time thing you can do. US decides to rival us, which, fair enough, they were they were doing the US versus Mexico thing, and now they're worried and likely to back down and just pay war reps to Mexico, which we are more than happy for them to do. We were looking to puppet Mexico, and we are winning this war too. This war might even conclude before this other war pops. I think there's a decent chance this pops. Americans too proud, minus 31. And they don't have a lot to lose from the war, just the war reps, just the primary war goals. So I imagine they actually fight this. And so we will be stuck in that war for a little bit. And we are also hemorrhaging some money, kind of courtesy of us doubling construction last episode, which we didn't talk about maybe as much as we should have. In order to facilitate that, we did up taxes, so we're kind of keen on lowering taxes if we can afford it, which I don't think we can right now. I think we're hemorrhaging just a little bit too much, but we will build into a much larger economy here, and so we will be able to, return balance to the force of the loyalists and stuff. Currently, the industrialists are a little bit upset with us. Are we not trying to pass anything? Well, we really want to get proportional taxation off the ground, so we are going to do this, which unfortunately is going to dip the Industrialists down to 5, which is we're going to lose their capitalist contribution, and boom, that loss of that contribution is making it so we are getting 100k less. But that's okay, because it's not being transferred to us, but instead they are keeping it in their pockets, so it should actually increase their clout over time, which we are kind of okay with because they were starting to dip in the clout anyways. You know, not too big a deal. Everyone wants to be in the same party. The reason we are keeping these guys out of the party is because it would drop our legitimacy because of lack of coherence. We will also land their capital here. Kind of a miserable capital, if you ask me, Washington, D.C., because it's difficult to defend. It's very easy to land because it has low population, because it doesn't have much arable land. And it's also on the coast. That's not D.C., that's Delaware. This is District of Columbia. It has infrastructure 8 out of 9. It has 140k population, which means like 2 conscription centers. Very, very easy to land and take over. Also, you take over the entire province as soon as you land it. Yep, not good. It is not the business, as it were. So, kind of the situation. We will... Maybe... This is not our unit? Okay. Who do we have over here? The 72 stack. So with Hugo, we will also land, I think... Just to expedite this war as much as possible, we will land in the District of Columbia with Hugo. And so this war should be over pretty quick as well. This war is almost done. We are holding on to the capital. I don't think they're going to push us off of it. We can even move this guy over here to this front to make sure we keep hold of the capital. This will be nice. But we are kind of off and away here. In very good shape. Can we increase an institution? No. Kind of where we want... Well... Once this raises, we will actually want to increase health system. It's not too great right now. Law enforcement's not too great. Wouldn't hate upping social security to try and get the clout a little bit more in the hands of the industrialists. Egypt does enforce, or sorry, Otto Kebab enforces on Egypt with an absolute banger of a border war here. You'll love to see it. We are hoping at some point we can protectorate them. They are in our market, so they will not become immune to it, but they have powerful protectors. Are we part of that? Probably not. You're calling Siam powerful protectors? Come on. Oh, that's probably the Austrian alliance they're thinking of. Okay, fair enough. So everyone gets moved over to these fronts, and we have this huge landing going on as well. That's just gonna, yeah. Oh, we get proportional taxation on the first tick. Very nice, except it's not on the first tick because we've been spending forever trying to get it for forever. But now, industrialists are a little upset with us. What could we maybe make them happy with something? Not really too much. But proportional taxation is giving us a ton more money, which is quite good, because now we will lower the taxes. It will take more money from, you know, the industrialists, which is one of the reasons they generally oppose it, and so it will be continually be harder for us to, per capita makes it easier to keep the industrialists in power than proportional, but I like having the control that having proportional gives you, so we will lower taxes here, and we will run this for a little bit. Not too long. Dude, it is very uncomfortable to be running that much. Let's play a little whack-a-mole here, though. Just a little bit. Man, Prussia get cut off? That's terrible. There should be some sort of mechanic that prevents them from losing entire market access over here. It's really not a good situation for them. I think these guys are in our market. Yeah, they are. Can we maybe protectorate them? No, we're not too close. Still cordial with them. Why did you become belligerent? I mean, we do want to protectorate you, but why are you belligerent all of a sudden? Brazil wants to conquer. Oh, I guess they want to conquer this. We would kind of just give it to them. If that were an option. Maybe it's because the oil's there. I'm not sure exactly what that's about. We can do some of that action though. I do think wood is one of the more expensive things in our... Ooh, it's not... Well, I mean it is, but this is really expensive. We did set a bunch of lead plants to auto-expand, but let's... Maybe in the interim we built up one lead tier everywhere, so... Why don't we actually... I don't think we have too much in these territories. They have a lot of peasants, so building these up all the way should be a fairly good look, right? Get a nice economies of scale bonus. And we can just plop down a couple rails there, and we'll be set to go. Get a little bit of an adjustment. The pops are now spending more money. And we're in pretty good shape there. Sweden wants an alliance. Well, I want to puppet you, though. Are they offering it on obligation? So if we take the obligation, then we can protectorate them, I think. And once they're a protectorate, they're no longer an ally. So we will accept. And then we will protectorate them. It's like free real estate. And then I think we stop bankrolling them. Just waiting for the confirmation here. The general died. That's a little unfortunate. Hugo died. No. Now that they're a protectorate, we are going to damage relations with them. Instead, and Hugo. He was the chosen one to do the landing, so let's see if we can recruit another general. The England HQ. We'll recruit him, but we're going to look for someone a little bit better. I mean, this guy is a bit better. Kind of would really love... We're going to recruit this guy and then fire him. Sorry, Alfred. What we're looking for really is... we would love to have an industrialist general. We are carrying kind of... Yeah, there we go. There we go. And he's charismatic? Hell yeah, brother. That's the one. Oh, baby. And so we will naval land with him. Wait, why isn't he... There we go. UI was a little bugged out. So this way, it kind of helps bolster up the clout of the Industrialists. You see, the clout has come up quite a bit off the back of that, and it's really just a straight up line. So this is a good way to kind of mess with the and massage the clout a little bit, which we want to do. Just keeping an eye out here. Okay, so here we are actually getting slow colonization speed, but we've completely cut off the coast. So what we will do is we'll come in here and we will pause the colony. So our other colonies, which are much more efficient, can grow. I didn't want to forget about this back entry, because usually kind of more focused on this stuff, but want to make sure those spread. We are going to get them, and we'll focus more on the colonies where we're going pretty quick. These have severe malaria, so which is why we are researching the malaria prevention, which once we get that, then we can go after severe malaria ones. We unlock pragmatism. William James, anyone? Brother of the better known James. Big fan of William James, actually. Really like his take on emotion. He kind of predicted a lot of the psychology, or a lot of psychological research that was yet to come with his philosophical pragmatism. And time period's about right for William James as well. He was American, though, so there's that. We don't have human rights yet, so we can't go that. We are starting to Okay, we're starting to decrease these again and increase these again. That's probably because we decreased the taxes, which we can probably even do again here. Maybe not quite yet, but soon. If this starts to turn positive, we will decrease taxes yet again. We have unrealized taxes. Do we have insufficient tax capacity? We do. Lowlands, West County, East Anglia, Lancashire. Lowlands, West County. Okay. We'll just add a few, a smattering, try and deal with that a little bit, or to some degree. This is also why we are deleting like a lot of our admins, like not in incorporated states. Like, so for example, if there's government admins in any of these, we would want to delete them because they are not helping us with the tax capacity, because there is no taxation in these states. So for example, this, don't want this. We don't want to double pay for our bureaucracy because we're paying for it in incorporated states, or at least that's where we want to focus paying for it. And we get the landing off, and of course it will be successful because this state cannot defend itself because it has a conscription center of 2. And so it's just a very, if you're playing as the United States, you should move your capital to New York, in my opinion. There's an argument for keeping it here because the White House building gives government administration throughput, which will stack with your, what is it called, your skyscraper, if you build your skyscraper in the capital. So this is not nothing, and you could just build a ton of government administrations if you wanted, but I don't think it's worth it, you know. I don't think that's the bee's knees, and we will decrease the taxes. And trying to pull the standard of living up a little bit to try and make us get a little bit, stay a little bit better in terms of the front on the loyalist. You know, like having the rural folk here is really nice. We will actually start bolstering the rural folk because we want to maintain them. We don't want them to dip below 5%. Because we like getting honest work, which is giving us logging industry and agriculture and ranches, all throughput bonus. So kind of happy about that. Unfortunately, we can't like reform and put just them in the government because we have to put everyone who wants to join the party in the government, and everyone wants to be in the one party. One party to rule them all. One party to something something, and in the darkness bind them. Ho hum. We will enforce on the US pretty soon here, and we are still... Did we gain infamy? What did we gain infamy from? Weird. Let's check our bankrolls and see if we can do anything with our obligations. Can't do anything yet because there's cooldown on inviting them to Customs Union. Don't have an invite for them. What about Formosa? Formosa we might be able to get in. We use the obligation. They will not accept, so instead we will absolve the... Or actually, we can't absolve the obligation. It's because they're cautious. Okay, fair enough. Japan, cautious. That is also the problem with Japan. They're amicable in Peru, Bolivia, but they are subject of the other guys, so maybe we just stop bankrolling them for now. Yeah, let's stop bankrolling them. Don't need to pay them out. Spain we're trying to get, this is someone we put in on the interim. Okay. More than happy to give the trade unions political strength for approval. Now they have quite a bit of approval, in a good spot. And somehow it just goes down after going up. Weird. We maybe want to switch to elected bureaucrats, but I don't think so. I think we might be more than happy to let the petite bourgeoisie get... It's not like the Armenia run, which we are currently playing both of these runs at the same time. It's not like the Armenia run where we're trying to like capture all 5 of these and really micromanage it. I think we would be fine if they fall into nothingness. The bureaucracy bonus is kind of nice, but we just have to keep an eye on that. In fact, since we might lose that if they become marginalized, we want to... West Country, Lancashire, we're going to expand a little bit more. I think we're already building them. A little bit in the home countries and in Midlands. And let's take a look at getting some rails in there too. Very nice. This is how we do it. I think we're building the Panama Canal right now, if I'm not mistaken. We can think about trying to automate some systems in some of our territories we've gotten. So why don't we take a look here. And we'll put this here and here. And let's see, what do we want them to make? We can make them make dyes. So this is what we've done here, is we've put auto expand on dyes, and they are auto expanding, and they will build a ton of dyes until they can't build any more dyes. And notably, since it is below 52 in the max capacity, we only want to have one type of building here. But since this has 152, we could actually have two different types of buildings. So why don't we put in some sugar and see how profitable it looks. And then right here, we're going to have a similar decision. We can only make one thing. Why don't we take a look what generally looks the most profitable? Or what's most profitable in Gabon? Let's just take a look. .47, 0.78, 1.3, 0.5, 1.2. 1.2 is a weird one for the millet. But it looks like the dyes are pretty good, so we'll build up 10 dyes here, and we'll set it on auto expand as well. And do this and this, because we want to set all of those on auto expand. We will do this and this, so we want to set all those on auto expand. This. And just getting ready to auto expand a whole bunch of different stuff. This was the only industry we can build, so we will be auto expanding there. And we are just careful with the rural stuff because we want to make sure that we are getting max economies of scale bonus on our rural stuff. But we can go into the menu here and click the button on the rural for the mines. We can just set all of them to auto expand and not need to worry about it, as well as for the fish. And the wood, which we've added a whole bunch of those, so we should have a lot more automation here going through, Africa region. And we have quite a few, it looks like, textile mills that are not on the PMs we want. And so let's take a look. Where are you? So I don't think we want to delete these. Well, we kind of want to delete these. We're going to delete these. It is firing people, but we will rehire people with the logging camps and the coal mines. In here, we generally want to keep most of the industrial production in the homelands or areas we're going to incorporate. We could incorporate some of these other territories though, so. But why don't we get ready to auto produce on these as well? My kingdom for some rubber. We are getting rubber mastication currently. And already we're starting to pull out of this here. Maybe look at possibly decreasing taxes again, but at this point, probably just going to look to increase construction instead. Just max it out in the home countries. And let's take a look down here. What we can, build the first level of so it automates out. So, for example, this iron, this coal, this fish. So next time we click the auto expansion button, it'll be all set. Same with there and there. Have that done here. Do it in Celebs or Celebs. Not sure how it's pronounced. Don't ask me how it's pronounced. I think we have it. Oh, we don't have it going in a Hokkaido. Probably not Sakhalin either. So, do have auto expansion here. And a lot of the labor required to manage everything. Such a strong state. We have so much diplomacy, and we are running kind of a lot of money, so we can probably afford to try and diplo acquire some more people. I just don't know who. I mean, I guess maybe the Philippines we can start bankrolling. They're really not fans of us, but we can do this, I think. They will have a similar government. So we can try and pull them into the customs union. I don't think we're going to be too naughty in their sphere. And we do want to get Egypt. They're mad at us. because we went to war against them. We should be still decaying the infamy, yep. So if you're not using your infamy decay, you're losing it, is the rule of thumb. And we're so close to getting the malaria. After this, we might actually go out of our way to pause all of our colonies. We will certainly not add any new ones. We do have this over here. Oh, we have this, and then this. They get the war reps. We are adding the port, so we'll add some of this as well. And we will put this on auto expand. We will have it produce wheat. So do we want to diplo get Sokoto? Well, so we would have to open their market first, because they have a closed market. And then we could diplo acquire them. Why don't we pause these colonies here? Because we know we want these paused. Because no one else can get in there. We have blocked this out. We've also blocked this out, so we'll pause it. And I think we've blocked this out, so we'll pause it. That way these colonies, for example, grow faster. And we can declare a war. Are we negative with them yet? We're not. A little keen on annexing. Or let's see about our journal entries first. Can we confederate Canada? So let's take a look at Canada. So one of these should absorb the other one. So I'm guessing Hudson Bay absorbs one of these. So Lower Canada or Columbia District or Upper Canada. So I'm guessing Upper Canada gets Hudson Bay, annex Nova Scotia. Okay, well I didn't see Nova Scotia anywhere. But let's look at Federate Australia as well. So we have South Australia, West. South takes West, or West takes South. Okay, so that does work that out. So this way it'll be easier for us just to annex the whole thing later. And that's good to know. But that's how that's working. This tech is almost here. Now we are going to keep up these colonies here because they actually can compete with us. And we're not going to put in any of the micro island. As tempting as it is, I don't think anyone's got any colonies there, but we're going to look to lock them out of here as soon as this malaria tech finishes. Of the coasts. This strategy just seems so prime. Can't do this, or could not have done this on any of the other countries I played, just because I can't be the first one to malaria attack. I'm just not fast enough. And here it looks like we're going to be. It looks like, you know, France doesn't have an interest here. We've clapped France quite a couple times, you know, in wars. Speaking of wars, we actually do want to look for a war. That would be useful. Let's take a look at our market real quick. Okay. Huh. Pretty big. So we could liberate the East Indies from them. We could just look to, like, take little Brunei. Just a little 5 skis. We can get a lot of people joining against us. I'm kind of not looking for a huge war. Well, how much decay do we have? So we need to do something that takes a lot of infamy. That way we don't just decay out. We could puppet Venezuela. I think I like puppet Venezuela here, actually. The US might join against us. France might join against us. I think we can take France at this point. I think. I don't think we can take France and the US, though. So maybe this is reason to not do the play, but we could, for example, conquer Cuba. This is 20 infamy. Seems like a lot. I mean, we want it to be a lot. Well, there's 2 states in Ecuador, right? So we could take one of the Ecuadorian states. That's a lot of infamy. How much to puppet you, though? This is kind of a decent amount, where we just puppet and annex later. I think I would rather puppet Chile. We have a truce. What about conquering Uruguay? France can join that? What about conquering? Oh, there's 2 states there. That's kind of annoying. We could go after Iran. No, we can't go after Iran. They are multiple states. We could go after Geldi. There's not much reason to. We could puppet the truthful states. France and Russia and Austria can all join against us, though. We could conquer Macron here. And only Russia could join against us. I think we can beat Russia. I think we can land them really easy. This will clean up. I mean, this is kind of a slow one, but this... It's not that useful for us to do that. I think we want to chomp on one of these boyos for the rubber. Sulu. How many territories do you have in Sulu? So you have 3, so we probably want to puppet that annex. Not a lot. We want to declare a war that's a little bit bigger. We could just go after Brunei. It might just be Brunei, because they're a single state. We would want to conquer them. We just get them out of here. We just hope that China doesn't join. Kind of don't want to fight China again. We will mobilize this guy and put him on front to begin with, in case shenanigans happen. Expecting him to back down, we will just eat the infamy and continue on our merry way. And some of the larger to medium-sized guys, we are going to look to Diplo puppet. So we could go after Venezuela that way. I think I just want to straight up puppet Venezuela though. So we could go after Ecuador that way, because Ecuador is 2 states. Anyone who's 1 state, I think we just want to straight up conquer as a heuristic. These guys were like 1,000,000 states, right? Are they isolationists? No, they're not. Okay, so... Oh, this is Oman. Why does Oman have that? What? That doesn't make much sense. I guess we could try and get Oman. Let's start bankrolling him, I guess. Dutch East Indies joins here. And we're going to mobilize some more and put some guys on the fronts. And then... we're going to see here what war goals we can take off of them that look somewhat reasonable. I think that, yeah, they're minus 75 fearful. This war's not going to pop off unless China joins. Philippines joins. A little bit of an interesting development. I think they'll still be minus 75 fearful, so I think that this still doesn't pop off, but they are getting full annex, so they're more likely to do it. I think at the very least we want to take war reparations from these guys. So... but probably not too much else. Maybe we... well, so we don't want to put in anything that requires infamy, because this war probably doesn't pop off, and then we're just saddled with some infamy, and there aren't really that many countries to liberate, nor do we kind of really want to liberate them. I do think I will start bankrolling. Are you guys still... there's still a dominion of the Netherlands. We would want to puppet them at some point, is kind of something we would be interested in, and so... yeah. We have a bunch of excess bureaucracy, which is what we want for when we finish Malaria here. Calculated. Now the thing is does China join? If China joins, then we use all of our remaining maneuvers to force China to release countries. Caucan becomes the protectorate of Russia. Unfortunately, we were trying to bankroll them and get them over. We will stop bankrolling them. That's an L for us. A little bit of an L. Can't take on your debt. You're still cautious. You're still cautious. Good old Nat spread. Doing work. In the meantime, we are getting our super ahead of time tech. Yeah, like someone was commenting about how natural spread, like, is not very useful because you stop using it, but us being able to, like, rely on our nat spread to, like, fill in the gaps as we get an ahead of time tech seems pretty useful. Wow, we're making a ton of money. So speaking of tech and such, I think we are going to expand the... Ooh, let's have you... Oh, you are auto-expanding. Alright, we get that, and we will expand the unis a little bit. And now we will have a think. I think that we want to go dynamite. Because we are mining a lot of resources to kind of keep our stuff going. Alternatively, we could go human rights. Human rights would be a decent one. Be a decent look. But now we will increase our institution and we will begin operation cut everyone off. So they see me rolling, they hating. So I think we just go here and here because we already have this. And we just cut everyone off from the Congo. Beautiful. Chef's kiss. We are the only one in the scramble for Africa currently. And the war pops off? Interesting. Well, I think what we will do is we will land at the capital with our biggest army. Oh, that's not our biggest army, but that's fine. And then with another big army, we will land at their capital. Relatively big army. It's all relative, isn't it? And we have a bunch of construction left in the... Oh, that's why we're making a ton of money. That makes sense. Alright, we will try and make... try and check, really. More than make sure. Let's check. Where do we have a lot of peasants? That is incorporated territory. Midlands, 500k. Ulster, quite a lot as well. So let's build industries there. What's expensive in the market? Sugar's real expensive. Munitions. So steel a little bit. We could build steel up in Ulster as well. So we will do that, and then Midlands, we also needed some. So we have a ton of peasants here. What can we build up in Midlands? Well, we already have the clothing going. Clothing's fairly profitable, but we could do furniture because we have a lot of clothing going everywhere else. So let's do that. Now, let's handle some of these natural resources. Now, we could import this. Not to very high amounts. So what we will do is we have some territories here, for example, that are primed and ready to do this. So we will get you up to 51. And you're making dyes. I think we swap all these over to the sugar, maybe? For the max throughput bonus. Maybe we just leave them. Deleting them kind of feels bad, but we will just build up the sugar a little bit. And then we will... Or maybe we should have just left it overall. Yeah, probably should have just left it overall. Built up the sugar someplace that has nothing, like here. For example, just go here and auto-expand. to help take care of the sugar. Now there's something else. Dyes are also expensive. I think we are working on the dyes a little bit, but we can work on it some more. We'll just take you up to 51 and plop down a railroad at the front. And let's look. Really, we need the, let's go covered markets. It's not profitable now, but we will want it. Let's do public trains, maybe? I don't think we don't have enough transportation, like, caked up for that to work. Credit where disease among the wounded. I think we'll take recovery rate. Credit where credit's due. Probably credit the Industrialists because they're having a little bit of problems. But yeah, we need to get on this automatic irrigation. In terms of tech, we are going dynamite first, but we have a lot, so maybe we go towards pump jacks. Steam donkey would also be okay. Oh, we need this for pump jacks anyways, so I guess we're gonna go steam donkey pump jacks after this. Now, we could probably also import some of this stuff as well from the Dutch, Honduras, from the Dutch, Nicaragua, Spanish. So that should help out quite a bit. We generally want to be on importing a whole bunch of this stuff. I think it might be hidden. This rebellion might also be part of the problem. There are some dyes there. I guess it's not too much. But we lose market access up there. Was really surprised to see that this stuff had become so expensive. Loom, steel, coal. Well, good thing we're not in here in this war. Pretty happy that we didn't get a fight against Great Qing here. Well, Midlands needs employment, and we could use some coal. Wow. The Tsarist Party. Is that supposed to stand for Tsarist? Surprise, surprise, they did it again. And we will take off the bolster here to bolster the trade unions to make sure that they stay above the percent that they need. Godspeed to our landing teams, make this war fast. And we get rubber. Hell yeah, brother. We'll build it out a little bit. We are getting out of this deficit. We're also just increasing the credit line, which is part of what's making the line look smaller. More than happy to have that be the way that we get out of a deficit effectively. Who died? William Lamb. Tragic. Let's see the new guy. So the new guy is a market liberal, so there is a good chance that this splits off. He's well loved. He's charismatic, persistent, experienced. Yep. Okay. There's a decent chance that this party splits up next election, because now we have a moderate here, and a market liberal here, and a radical here. So, gone might be the age of the forever winning party. May it rest in peace. Tributary broken. But it doesn't tell us who. That's always fun. Rubber discovered in East Borneo. Not sure we can build enough rubber to really make a clothier profitable. We're gonna have to try it eventually, so we're gonna add some infrastructure here and max out the rubber as well. Oh no, we got a native uprising. No, what will we do? This is fantastic for us. Not the native uprising we wanted. We'd much prefer one of the ones that will cut off Luongo, Hiro, and Nama, which will completely cut everyone off. That is the name of this game. Probably enforced pretty soon here on these boyos. Gonna move this guy to this front over here. I think there's no one on this front. Yeah, there is no one. Don't want them to take the war gold back. We have so much diplomacy excess. Let's make sure that we are improving relations with France. We are. We could even bankroll France later, because we are trying to get the achievement where we need to spit in their face, but we gotta make them like us first. So that's a bit of a challenge. Just a quick review of how we line up to everyone else. In terms of GDP, 3 times the next person who has Great Qing with like 150 mil. But I'm thinking next war, do we have a... Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of infamy. I'm thinking next war we go after Hebei, maybe. Hey baby, hey baby, hey. Alternatively, we could go after Fujian with the intention of getting this place next. But I think I like just taking Hebei. Just straight up annex Hebei. Don't mind having them be radical, because this keeps our cohesion really high. Really want to get that 2 extra happiness. So this is a reason to kind of keep the taxes low, to try and increase loyalists and decrease radicals. No one is on that front? What? Where is everybody? You're asleep at the wheel, my friend. But they are occupied, so they're probably going to give it up soon. How are we doing on rails? Let's up it. Yeah, dynamite will be good. Although maybe we could... See, maybe it's better for us to go improve fertilizer, because we are having a hard time keeping the dynamite price down because the fertilizer price is so cheap. Alright, this is an interesting event. It is a unique event, obviously, because it has to do with the East India Company. The rule of the East India Company has ended, and its British government will now take a greater role in Indian affairs. History shall mark this day an inception of the British Raj. As long as we rule India, we are the greatest power in the world. If we lose it, we shall drop straight away to a third-rate power. Man, prophetic. Only through despotic methods can we extract India what the guys require. Alright. So, we will get... They've become a puppet. The doctrine of lapse will be abolished, preserving the princely states. Don't know what that means. East India Company enables laws appointing bureaucrats. Okay, sure, I guess. So now they're a puppet instead of a dominion. We preferred them as a dominion because, man, they were clapping cheeks up in this bizzle. They were going at it. They were taking names. So that's a bit unfortunate. They, like, just annexed all this territory. We rather liked that version. The caked up British Raj now, though, I guess? I don't know. Making a ton of money. Probably increase construction a little. I think that, yeah, actually, let's just increase the construction. I was gonna say, I think, I feel like being a pussy, but, you know, I don't. We are maybe going to get around to 2K construction this episode. This episode, I kind of want it to be, well... Yeah, I don't think we're going to cut off all of this. I was kind of hoping we'd cut off all this episode, but that's way too optimistic. That's not going to happen this episode. Unfortunately. I mean, the plan is in motion now, is what's going on this episode. As well as this little war we got here, which... Yahtzee on the gold mines. Let's make sure we have a port. We do have a port. We'll make it cargo. I don't know why they build up the ports into like infinite. Alright, so now there's a ton of extra jobs because we switched these over to a different mode. So what's most profitable here, and we will just prop that up. So it looks like it's the dyes, so we'll delete everything else that's not dyes, and we will put all the whole bunch of dyes at the front of the queue, and then finish them out at the back, and we will have them specialize in dyes for maximal throughput bonus, because we need dyes anyways. We have most of Borneo, a revolutionary of a time. Alright, I'm fine with this. They become a trade unionist. We will get a port, get a livestock ranch, set them on auto expand. So that's the only thing that can be built there. Same here, we will build a livestock ranch, build a port in front, and set you on auto expand. Unfortunately, this war popped before the next one, otherwise we could declare something. We are locked in on this until we get this taken care of. This will take us a little while. We will have a little bit of time where we're not decaying, unfortunately. We'll take the antibiotics tech, thanks. Okay, thanks, bye. Are we not spreading anything? I don't think so. No, so we could try and go ahead of time on a different tech. I don't really know what we would want to go ahead of time on. So I think we're gonna head for pump jacks. I think that'll help us out quite a bit. I mean, I could go antibiotics. That seems nuts. Though, that would be such a slow tech. Do have 5k into it, though. They keep getting activated. This is a really good bonus. Alright. Also, significantly alleviates a lot of the pressure, because a lot of the stuff that's expensive is like the dyes. Oh, now we can import from Qing and Japan? That we couldn't before, I guess? Hopefully our problem wasn't lack of convoys. But, yeah, this is good. I don't know why it wasn't, like, it was just a level 1 importing only. But yeah, we're more than happy to import this primarily and, you know, focus on the industrial goods ourselves. Let's take a quick little tour of our sub-obligations. So they're still cautious. They're not going to join us. Cautious, cautious. I don't blame them. Spain, we might be able to get in the customs union. We can. Welcome to the customs union, Spain. When they say yes, at least. Unfortunately, they don't have Philippines or Cuba anymore, so Spain is like really not very strong, but that's what happens when, you know, we did this to them. But they're now in the market. That's very satisfying. What's not satisfying is that. So Lancashire, West County, Midlands. Kind of everywhere, really. We have a little bit of a problem. So we'll just do some of this. We'll do 2 in Midlands, Lancashire, and West County. So that's who we mentioned. God, we have so much excess diplomacy, but really not too much to use it on. Well, let's see who's a great power, actually. Who's the weakest person who's not a great power? Italy's not a great power. So we could try and pull them into our market. So we can improve relations with them with the intention of doing that. And so this is a decent plan. I think we no longer need to bankroll them. Or how close are we to getting this? Not too close, not too far either, though. We're just going to stop bankrolling. We're not going to try and get the Diplo hook on them. We'd rather go for... I wish they weren't belligerent. We have an obligation with them. How close are we to getting them? Too many ideological differences. We are maxed out on the army difference bonus, so we're not going to get closer unless they start changing their government a little bit in Mexico. But this is kind of fine as well. Can just play this a little bit slow. Now, Egypt, what was your deal? So maybe we pick a fight with Egypt next. Definitely hope it just keeps going along this line and just lines the coast instead of pushing inland. I think that is the natural spread as well, but I'm not 100% on it. Very excited to see if this strategy works. How close are we? We're really close to being able to annex Portugal. Or to vassalize Portugal, rather. Because they're currently a protectorate. Oh, we are making so much money. Because it's this number plus this number. I guess it adjusted as I was saying that. To something else. Alright, let's check our institutions. We are increasing here. Would like to get workplace safety up. So we can continue to like play a little bit of whack-a-mole. I mean, we're just gonna need these eventually. Gold deplete in Cali. Re-annex them. Perfect. And I think we'll call it an episode here. This episode, you know, we've mainly been working on getting people into our market. We have started the Malaria plan. And by Malaria plan, I mean we are trying to cut off the Congo from everyone. I think this will work out pretty well. We did intentionally go ahead of tech to get malaria prevention to run this plan, so we're behind where we could be with some other techs. But I think this will play out quite nicely. The British Raj formed via an event. So they're now a puppet instead of a protectorate, which is a bit unfortunate because we were really loving how they were clapping everyone over here and just expanding themselves. A little bit unfortunate. We wish they were that. And we also pulled Spain into our market. So our market's looking pretty chatty, if I don't say so myself. You know, we're only, what is this, 20 years into the run, and we're already looking fantastic. You know, very, very strong. We're more than 3 times the GDP of the next biggest person, who's like double the next biggest person, who is a subject of ours. And in terms of European powers, if you add up the GDPs of all of the great powers, it's less than ours. So, yeah, we're caked up, is what I'm saying. What is this, 70? This is plus another 70 after the, like, math, 140 to, like, 212. Like, less than 300. And we're sitting at 518. Yeah, we are thick, boy. We could even consider expanding the military and, like, going after some people. I think we do want to... We want to cut Russia down to size at some point, so maybe that's what we'll do next episode. I think what we're going to do is we're going to wait and we're going to grab Portugal, or we're going to puppet Portugal. Well, that actually won't give us very much infamy, but we're going to look for a war in the interim. And hopefully next episode we will be able to finish Operation Cut Off the Congo. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Do the YouTube algorithm stuff. Also share, I guess. And have a good day.